What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. It looks like Nickal may have finally landed the fight he has been pushing for over the past few weeks. Nickal recently got into a heated exchange with Colby Covington during the RAF press conference, where the two traded sharp words on stage. What started as a tense moment quickly escalated, with the rivalry spilling over onto social media shortly after. Nickal repeatedly called Covington out online, making it clear he wanted the matchup, while Covington initially appeared to brush off the idea. Now, however, all signs are pointing toward the fight being finalized. Sources close to the situation suggest the bout is close to official, with talks progressing behind the scenes. There is also speculation that the fight could take place at the White House event, adding intrigue to the matchup. Nickal fueled the excitement by taking to X to tease the news, implying the bout is officially happening. In his post, he expressed respect for Colby Covington as a competitor and praised his willingness to accept challenges, calling it the real American way. Nickal ended the message by tagging Colby Covington, UFC, Dana White, Donald Trump, and Paramount Plus, leaving little doubt about what is coming next. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, Jake Paul has undergone jaw surgery for the second time after suffering a serious injury back in December. Paul initially broke his jaw in two places during his fight with Anthony Joshua, an incident that required immediate medical attention. Following the bout, he underwent his first operation on December 20th, during which doctors inserted two titanium plates, one on each side of his jaw, to stabilize the fractures and allow proper healing. However, complications have now forced Paul to go under the knife again. According to Paul, the screws and plates from the first surgery began coming loose, creating a dangerous situation inside his mouth. He explained that the issue happened because he failed to properly rest and follow doctors' orders over the past 2 months. Instead of staying inactive, he continued traveling and attending major events. Paul revealed that he noticed something was wrong when one of the small screws actually came out into his mouth, forcing him to spit it out. Doctors immediately became concerned about the risk of infection, as the loose hardware had essentially left an open wound exposed to food and bacteria. Because of that risk, surgeons decided the plates and screws had to be removed right away in an emergency procedure. Speaking from his hospital bed after surgery, Paul admitted responsibility for the setback. He openly warned others not to ignore medical advice, stressing that failing to rest after surgery can cause serious consequences. He ended by bluntly telling people not to repeat his mistake, acknowledging that pushing his body too soon directly led to the painful and avoidable second surgery. Moving on to another news. Dana White got the upper hand over Matchroom boxing promoter Hearn in the latest chapter of their growing rivalry. Ever since White officially launched Zuffa Boxing earlier this year, tensions between the two sides have been mounting, with both trading barbs and competing for top-tier talent. Zuffa Boxing has wasted no time in establishing itself as a serious contender in the sport, aggressively pursuing elite fighters to bolster its roster. Reports indicate that White and Zuffa Boxing were in talks to sign undisputed heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk, though the current status of those negotiations remains unclear. Hearn, meanwhile, has represented some of boxing's biggest names over the years, including Katie Taylor, Conor Benn, and Anthony Joshua. He has also promoted legendary champions such as Canelo Alvarez and Vasily Lomachenko, solidifying his influence in the sport. As the rivalry continues to escalate, Zuffa Boxing scored a major win by securing one of Hearn's top fighters. In a press release on Friday, Zuffa Boxing announced the signing of Conor Benn, who holds a record of 24 wins and 1 loss to an undisclosed contract. This move marks a seismic shift in the boxing landscape, as Benn had spent the majority of his career under Hearn's promotional umbrella. Benn is entering this new chapter after achieving the biggest victory of his career, defeating Chris Eubank Jr. in their highly anticipated rematch last November. His signing with Zuffa Boxing not only strengthens White's promotion, but also signals an important power play in the ongoing rivalry with Hearn. Fans are now watching closely to see how this shakeup will impact future matchups, fighter negotiations, and the competitive dynamics between the two promotions. Zuffa Boxing's bold moves indicate that Dana White is serious about reshaping the boxing scene and establishing his promotion as a dominant force in the sport. Moving on to another news, shortly after the announcement of Conor Benn signing with Dana White's Zuffa Boxing, his ex-promoter Eddie Hearn reacted to the news, expressing that he was devastated by the move. Speaking to TV, Hearn admitted, "I have got to be honest with you. Me personally, I am devastated. I've had a couple of days to digest what might happen, and this interview will be different than it would have been a few days ago. Like you, it's not often I get shocked. I blame myself because I forgot it was boxing. I just felt the loyalty we've shown would never put us in this position, and I felt that I never really needed to push Conor Benn to sign a new contract previously. I probably could have got him to sign a new contract before. Like I said, I blame myself. I made a mistake. I misjudged the character." Hearn continued, reflecting on the effort and support he had given Benn throughout his career. "It feels like a bit of a wasted few years. I gave it a lot. You know how hard I fought. When no one believed in him, no one backed him. I did. I believed in him, I backed him, and I never gave in. When he needed help, I loaned him hundreds of thousands of pounds. I blamed myself. I got the character wrong. I took the loyalty for granted because of what I did, and I shouldn't have done that. I've made that mistake before in boxing, but I didn't expect it from Conor Benn. Yeah, maybe he's not quite the person I thought he was. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk in the future, but what can I say?" Hearn's words highlighted the mix of shock, disappointment, and reflection that comes with losing a top fighter after years of support. Despite the setback, he remained honest about his role in the situation and acknowledged the unpredictable nature of the sport. This moment underscores the high stakes and personal investment involved in professional boxing and the challenges promoters face in retaining talent. Moving on to another news, Fight Week continues as Sean Strickland sat down for an interview with Complex ahead of his Saturday bout with Anthony Hernandez. And true to form, he did not hold back. When asked about whether fighters are making more money under the new Paramount UFC deal, Strickland delivered his blunt take, saying the reality is far from what Dana White has stated. According to Sean, UFC fighters are not seeing increased pay, and in his words, the system is unfair and predatory. He even suggested that fighters could make more money working at Walmart than competing in the UFC. Strickland criticized the notion of new bonuses tied to the Paramount Plus deal, explaining that no one is getting paid more. "What's the new bonus? 150, he remarked. He compared the UFC's pay scale to other sporting events, noting that there is no fair comparison. The UFC is, in his opinion, the most mismatched when it comes to athlete compensation versus what the sport generates. He described the environment as predatory, highlighting that fighters risk their bodies, health, and longevity for the organization. Yet the financial reward does not match the danger or effort involved. He continued by explaining the limitations faced by UFC fighters in America, pointing out that declining a fight offer often leads the promotion to find someone else willing to compete for far less. This, he argued, creates a system where the American roster struggles to thrive, as many foreign athletes can earn better pay and live comfortably elsewhere. Strickland pointed out that after taxes, management fees, and living expenses, the UFC pay scale makes it extremely difficult for fighters to sustain a stable income, even if they fight multiple times per year. He wrapped up by emphasizing that the UFC's corporate structure and pay model discourage American talent from staying in the sport long-term. Fighters are being forced into a system that favors cost-cutting and maximized profits over fair compensation, leaving many with limited options. Strickland's candid remarks shed light on the financial realities for UFC athletes, reinforcing his reputation as one of the sport's most outspoken voices. His message is clear. The current model is not sustainable, and fighters deserve better treatment, pay, and respect for the risks they take inside the octagon. Moving on to another news. Back in 2024, Khamzat appeared to go through a noticeable transformation, presenting himself as far more professional, calmer, and noticeably more mature. Many fans immediately began speculating about what caused this shift, with some believing it stemmed from personal struggles and a period of depression he had openly battled during a difficult chapter of his life. While those theories circulated, new insight has now come directly from someone who knows him best. Khamzat's longtime coach, Alan Nascimento, also known as Finfo, recently spoke about the change and explained what truly sparked it. According to Nascimento, the biggest turning point came with the birth of Khamzat's son. He explained that the shift did not happen overnight, but gradually became more visible over time, especially to those around him every day. Nascimento pointed out that the moment the public really started noticing the change was during fight week for the bout against Robert Whittaker. Fans began saying, "Khamzat looked different." They noticed he was calmer, less aggressive, wearing glasses, and carrying himself in a more composed manner. Some even questioned whether he still had the same hunger or intensity that once defined him. However, Nascimento said he had already been seeing this evolution for nearly 1.5 to 2 years before that. He explained that the specific year everything truly clicked was after Khamzat became a father. Things became even more emotional right before the Whittaker fight, when Khamzat had to travel to Sweden because his son needed surgery. Although everything ultimately turned out fine, the situation added perspective and responsibility to his mindset. Nascimento described it by saying that Khamzat used to have an animal inside him that completely controlled him. Now, that animal is still there, but Khamzat has matured enough to control it. He no longer feels the need to unleash that aggression at all times. Instead, he understands exactly when to let it out. He confidently told people to wait and see, promising that the balance between control and intensity would show itself when it mattered most. Then Khamzat went out and fought Robert Whittaker, and everyone saw exactly what happened. Moving on to another news, Bear DeGidio, host of the Jackson podcast, recently shared footage of Khamzat getting in some striking rounds with Khalil Rountree Jr., showing that he's sharpening his skills and staying active in the gym. The clips highlighted Khamzat's precision and timing, leaving fans excited about what's next for him. Later, Khamzat appeared on the podcast himself and spoke candidly about his future plans in the octagon. He confirmed that moving up to light heavyweight and even heavyweight is definitely a possibility as he pursues the goal of becoming a 3-division champion. During the conversation, Khamzat acknowledged that he previously called out Alex Pereira, but never received a response. Rather than dwelling on that, he made it clear that his focus is on challenging himself and chasing titles. He expressed that he wants to become a double champ first, after which he can either return to his original weight class, stay in the new division, or even explore additional opportunities. Khamzat emphasized that he isn't concerned with undefeated records or hype. His priority is testing himself and creating meaningful fights. The discussion also touched on age and longevity in the sport. When asked how old he is, Khamzat confirmed he's 31 and noted that he still has plenty of time to achieve his goals. His outlook is confident, focused, and ambitious, showing that he's thinking strategically about the next stages of his career. Fans are left anticipating how he will balance multiple divisions while continuing to evolve as one of the sport's most dynamic fighters. Moving on to another news. During the same episode, a 21-year-old member of Khamzat's team claimed he submitted Sean Strickland with a rear naked choke while Strickland was preparing for his fight against Anthony Hernandez. He explained that just 1 week ago, they were at Pi training and participating in extreme sparrings, where the opportunity arose. He described the process, saying that he met Strickland while sparring alongside him. Initially, Bussin went 3 rounds with Strickland to wear him down, and once Strickland began to tire, it was his turn. He took Strickland down and successfully applied the rear naked choke, securing the submission. The young team member highlighted the intensity of the session and the high-level skill involved in pulling it off, noting that it was a clear demonstration of technique and timing. This moment has caught the attention of fans, showcasing the talent coming through Khamzat's camp and signaling the level of preparation and sharpness his team is bringing into the octagon. The sparring sessions continue to be a key part of their training strategy, building confidence and honing their skills for upcoming fights. Moving on to another news, Usman Nurmagomedov's potential UFC debut could be imminent, and Henry Cejudo along with Kamaru Usman are already hyping it as a game-changer for the lightweight division. On a recent podcast episode, the 2 former champions discussed his situation in detail. Reportedly, Usman has just 1 or 2 fights left on his PFL contract, and with his dominance as the PFL lightweight champion, a free agent move to the UFC feels very real and could be coming very soon. Khabib's cousin has been untouchable in PFL, showcasing elite grappling, improved striking, and the same relentless Dagestani pressure that made Islam Makhachev a pound-for-pound king. Henry Cejudo did not hold back, placing Usman immediately in the UFC lightweight top 3, ahead of names like Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira. The hype is well justified, given his wrestling pedigree, submission game, and recent evolution in striking, making him a nightmare matchup for anyone in the division. With Islam now competing at welterweight, the timing for Nurmagomedov's jump couldn't be better. Cejudo and Kamaru explained that once he enters the UFC, the division's hierarchy could flip almost instantly. During the discussion, Cejudo emphasized, Usman Nurmagomedov, bro, him, bringing him in at 155 pounds. All these dudes are woo-woo. I don't think I put anybody at 155 pounds. Be careful what you say. Watch your mouth, he's good, bro. Kamaru agreed, adding, I know he's good. I'll put him in the top 5, Cejudo clarified. Really? I put him in the top 3 with the current champ Ilia Topuria, Arman, Justin Gaethje, Usman Nurmagomedov, Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway. I put him against all of those dudes. All of them. Once Usman Nurmagomedov makes the jump to the UFC, he will have a plethora of exciting and high-level fights to choose from, setting up some of the most compelling matchups in the lightweight division. His arrival promises to shake up the rankings and deliver fresh, dynamic competition for fans eager to see the next evolution in the division. Moving on to another news, rumors are starting to heat up around a potential shakeup at light heavyweight. Earlier this week, speculation began circulating that Alex Pereira could vacate the light heavyweight title and move up to heavyweight to face Cyril Gane for an interim belt. Nothing has been officially confirmed, but the chatter has continued to grow across the MMA world. At the same time, reports have emerged suggesting that Khamzat may also be preparing for a move up to light heavyweight. According to these rumors, Khamzat could face Jiri Prochazka for the vacant light heavyweight title at UFC 327. The speculation gained even more traction after an Instagram post featuring a mock fight poster of Khamzat and Jiri started making the rounds online. Adding fuel to the fire, Khamzat was seen liking the post, which immediately caught the attention of fans. While there is still no confirmation from the UFC, the possibility of Khamzat stepping into a new division for a vacant title has sparked major excitement. If these rumors turn into reality, it could be one of the most dramatic title fights of the year.